Okay, let's review this game. So London system, bishop f5, and play e3, knight c6. So this move actually was not a good move because it blocks the c pawn. And also, if we look at the previous move, bishop f5 after knight c6, so this diagonal could be something white can utilize. So for example, bishop b5 is the best move. And let's think about what could be the move from black. So if black, for example, move a6, kick our bishop, we can take the knight and knight e5. I think we want the pawn. Queen to b8, we can play b3, queen to b6 maybe. Yeah, maybe that's the way black can protect the pawn, because the queen cannot go to d6, there's a discovered attack, and this pawn structure is really bad. White can attack the pawn, and also bishop can aim at c7, queen b6, b3, queen to b6, so we can castle, and later we can, for example, knight d2, rook c1, and c4 to open up the c file and further attacking these two pawns. So if black move bishop to d7, so black is like moving the bishop back and forth, which wastes a move, and we can push c4, knight c3, rook c1 to keep attacking the c file. Looking at our bishop aiming at c7, so it's a very good way to open up, good like strategy to open up the c file. And since the knight at c6, black cannot really move the c7. So if black didn't move knight to c6, it can play c6. So the c file for black could be safe. But after knight c6, the c7 and the entire c file could be something we can utilize. And so if black plays something else like e6, I think we can play knight e5 to keep adding pressure on this knight. And white has built a very good advantage in move 6. That's quite impressive. So play c3, so this is not as active as bishop b5, so this is defensive. Bishop d3, then we c5. Yeah, these two moves are not consistent, to be honest. So I mean, if we play bishop to d3 and c4 immediately, we can save one move. But we play c3 and c4, yeah, that makes us waste one move. Black play bishop d6. So now white has built a very large space at the queen side, and hopefully we can attack the queen side with maybe rook b1 before b5. Yeah, take the bishop. Black should take that with the h pawn, apparently. I mean, taking the g6 bishop, I think that's a good, that's an okay move, because black doesn't have a rook at h file. So if black takes that with h pawn, we don't need to worry about h file. But I'm still thinking bishop b5 is something we could consider, pinning the knight, and knight e5 is coming. And this move is even more dangerous for our opponent. Knight e5, come to the center, taking out with pawn. Okay. I think we talked about in some other position that taking that with the pawn is a better option than taking that with the bishop, but that was different from this one. I will come back to that position later. So if we look at this position, we take that with the pawn. First of all, we don't have a like h5 to attack, and the thing is we have pawn to c5, so which means our pawn structure will be scattered after taking the knight. So I will take that with the bishop, so we can keep the pawn structure connected. So the position we talked about is something like this. black play e6, and we play like c5, something like this, not castle, and knight e5 or knight e2. Yeah, we actually move this knight first because of a queen b6. Castle, yes, in this position, after the exchange, we take up the pawn. First of all, we don't need to worry about the pawn at c5, so the pawn at c3 is still safe, and we kick knight away because we have a light square bishop aiming at h7, and we can move the queen to h5 together with our bishop, and also h4. So if you remember, something like a sacrifice. So because we can attack the king side, knight f3, knight g5, so we take the knight with the pawn to kick the f6 knight away, so we can move the queen to h5. But this position was different from this game, because if we take with the pawn, first of all c5 will be a target, and it's actually really hard to move our queen, and we don't have a light square bishop, which means attacking the king side is becoming more difficult. So yeah, so in this case, keeping the pawn structure connected is better. But what black blundered the knight? Yeah. So yeah, after putting the knight, I don't think we don't have to work through the rest of game. So I think two learnings from this game. That is, one is knight c6. This is a problematic move in the system. Think about what we can do on this knight, on this diagonal. Actually, I think we have at least 2 times to move bishop to b5. This is the first time, and actually from now we can move bishop to b5 and later knight e5. Yeah, so also here we can move the bishop to b5 and move knight e5. So this is a great combo. And another thing is, yeah, in this position we take knight with a pawn, but as I said, so because it's a little hard for us to attack the king side, and also it's important to keep the c5 pawn safe. So yeah, taking up with the bishop would be a better consideration. And that's it.